Peter Kahn here with the Fight Guys, and thank you for tuning in to another video where we are going to provide best bets for the Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. At least 3 of the championship belts, the IBF, WBA, and WBO, who Anthony Joshua currently holds, and of course Tyson Fury has the WBC belt. Pulev is the IBF mandatory, and in order for all the belts to be on the line in 2021 when Joshua and Tyson Fury fight, Joshua has to take care of this mandatory. It's the only way he's going to preserve that fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship. With that being said, this video is brought to you by betonline.ag. Go visit BetOnline to get the most recent up-to-date odds, prop bets, not just on boxing, but for every sport. And in the meantime, we are going to break down this fight. We're going to talk about the odds, and we're going to give you some of our best bets. And if you watch our videos, especially the most recent video, then you cashed in on the Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia fight. Of course, we had Spence winning at minus 135 as far as the method of victory being a decision. And we also had it going over 10.5 rounds at minus 280. Not the most incredible line value, but it was better line value than picking Spence just to win at minus 450, which then moved to minus 400 prior to the opening bell. So here we are. We're set for December 12th. Anthony Joshua, Kubrat Pulev. You have the 31-year-old Joshua. I believe he's 23-1 with 21 KOs. Of course, the only loss was to Andy Ruiz on June 1st, 2019. Huge upset loss at Madison Square Garden. Of course, he avenged that basically a year and a week. A year, about a year, just under a year, about 5 days under a year. Against Anthony Joshua, against Andrew Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. So he avenged that loss. He won the decision against Ruiz, and he's looking to put, obviously, that loss behind him and just move on now to bigger and better things with unifying all the titles with Fury in 2021. But he has to get past Kubrat Pulev, who is 39 years old, 28-1. with 14 KOs, and his sole loss was a knockout loss to Vladimir Klitschko. I think it was back in 2014, that's 6 years ago. In the meantime, he's beaten the likes of Derek Chisora on the way, but I will say this. I have been at the last 2 fights for Kubrat Pulev. Literally is inside the corral of ringside as you can get, I'm not extremely impressed. I think the odds makers have it right when they say that Joshua is a minus 1,000 favorite. So according to BetOnline, Anthony Joshua is a minus 1,000 favorite to defeat the underdog Pulev, who is plus 650. So basically, you'd have to bet $1,000 to win 100 if you're betting on Joshua, and you'd have to bet 100 to win 650. Now, if you are a fan of Pulev and you're betting with your heart, not your mind, then you're going to put $100 down hoping that the Bulgarian could come through. Well, then of course that's great value, but we don't bet with our hearts, we bet with our minds, and we use probability and statistics, including our knowledge of boxing, to make these decisions. And of course, I always emphasize when betting on sports, specifically betting on boxing, it's all about line value. It's not about necessarily who you think you're going to win or who you think is going to win, but in addition, you want to find that value where it makes sense, where the risk and reward have value. So with that being said, I do have 4 best bets, and the first one is going to be the method of victory. So yes, there's Anthony Joshua to win minus 1,000, not a lot of value there, but what we are going to do is we are going to pick the method of victory, which is going to be knockout, TKO, or DQ, and that is at minus 250. So far better value. And I do feel that Joshua's going to win by knockout. So this is, from a probability standpoint, the method of victory is an excellent choice. Minus 250, I'll take those odds versus minus 1,000 any day of the week, because like I said, I think it's going to be a knockout victory anyway. So we're going to take for our first best bet, Anthony Joshua, method of victory, KO, TKO, or DQ, minus 250. You're going to bet 250 to win 100. Now, the second best bet for the evening, I also feel carries a lot of value. So we're going to go with the total rounds. The total rounds are set at 6.5. You can either bet that it's going to go over 6.5, or you can bet that it's going to go under 6.5. And right now, over 6.5 rounds, which means it needs to go to the midway point of the 7th round, is minus 125. So it's actually great value. And the under that you feel it's going to go under 6.5 rounds is minus 105. Our best bet is going to be under. I do not feel that Kubrat Pulev is going to be able to last over 6.5 rounds with Anthony Joshua. I think Joshua is going to get an early start with that jab. I think he's going to look to land power. I think he's going to find some openings fairly shortly in this fight, whether it's a straight right hand, an uppercut, a left hook. Something's going to give, and I can see Pulev being stopped. I just don't know how much the 39-year-old Pulev has left in him, and I don't feel he's been tested in his last 2 fights that I've been at. I think Joshua is rejuvenated. I think he's just ready to go, and I don't think he's overlooking Pulev, but he certainly sees him as someone that's in the way, a mandatory challenger that he has to take care of, and I think he wants to do it in a spectacular fashion in order to set up those Fury fights for 2021. So we're going to go under 6.5 rounds at minus 105. I just feel that Joshua is going to stop Pulev, and I think it's going to happen earlier than the midway point of the 7th round. Now, that leaves us to some interesting bets as our 3rd and 4th best bets. So we can have alternate round betting, which allows you to pick the round in which you think the fight's going to end, and who's going to, end the fight. In this case, we're going to have 2. So the 3rd best bet of the evening is going to be Anthony Joshua by knockout in the 5th or 6th round at plus 450, which is great value. Basically, you bet $100 to win 450 that Anthony Joshua is going to end this fight in the 5th or 6th round. Now, so if you were to bet the 5th round or the 6th round independently, right now it's at plus 1,000. So it's better value from an underdog perspective. However, if it doesn't happen in that particular round, you don't win your bet. Here we're grouping the rounds, either the 5th or 6th round. We're getting less value, but it's still great value nonetheless to earn $450 on a $100 wager. I'll take that every single day. Now that leaves us to our 4th best bet, which is alternate group betting, but we're going to go a little bit broader for plus 135, which is you're going to bet $100 to win $135. We're going to take rounds 1 through 6. That Joshua is going to stop Pulev in any time rounds 1 through 6. It's not as good as the value on the plus 450 for rounds 5 or 6, but we're sort of doubling down here, and we're kind of giving it a little bit more of a broader range. Nonetheless, we're coming out on top with the underdog bet. So just to recap, we're picking Anthony Joshua by method of victory at minus 250, which is by KO, TKO, or DQ. We're then picking under 6.5 rounds that we feel this fight's not going to go past the midway point of the 7th round. So the under 6.5 rounds, and that is at minus 105. That's also excellent value. Then we're going to have in the alternate group betting that this fight is going to end in the 5th or 6th round, that Anthony Joshua is going to win in the 5th or 6th round at plus 450. And then we're going to have Anthony Joshua to win in rounds 1 through 6 at plus 135. So those are the 4 best bets. I definitely feel Anthony Joshua is winning this fight. All of the value in this fight is on Joshua. I hope you enjoy the fight. It's December 12th in London. And once again, always appreciate you watching these videos. We aim to provide value. Visit betonline.ag for the latest odds. Like I said, if you haven't already liked or subscribed, please subscribe to the videos. Please like the videos, share the videos, and we will be back here the following week with the Triple G fight. Then we have the following night after that on December 19th, the Canelo fight. And then to kick off the new year, there's Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. So we're going to give you all of the opportunity to cash in on all of these fights. And thanks for tuning into the fight, guys.